gut? Cookies?
Ja, sehr gut. Etwas Energie.
Okay, Mark, here we go.
You have
Stand
5
by,
minutes, Mark?
please.
Hey.
3.
So where's the coffee now?
I'm getting it.
Arnold,
I'll tell you.
a couple of quick questions. Early career, people who gave your career a boost. Your connection with Lucille Ball, didn't she involve you in a project early on?
Lucille Ball was absolutely instrumental in my early career, and this is why I would never forget her, because she was so sweet. She saw me one time on a Merv Griffin show, and she called me the next day in the gym when I was working out, and she said, "Look, I saw you yesterday on the Merv Griffin show. You were funny, you have a great sense of humor. That's very unique with someone of your build." She says, "I want you to come in and read for me for a part for a television special called Happy Anniversary and Goodbye with Art Carney and her together." And it was disastrous because I went in there and I had no idea what she meant by read. You know, so I tried to read it like you read a book. I tried to read the scene like this, and it was totally wrong because she wanted me to read like get into the scene and act out the scene, but use the script for help. And I was not experienced at all at this point, and it was a total disaster. And she was very sweet because she looked at everyone, and I could see the kind of little signals she gave, but I wasn't sure really what she meant. And she was telling everybody, kind of like saying, you know, this was great. And she came, she said, "Oh, this was fabulous. You are hired. I loved your performance. You come in now for a week and you do the rehearsals with us, and this will be a great scene." And she hired me, although I gave the worst reading that you can even think of. So she was really helpful. And ever since that moment, which was in 1974, ever since that moment, every movie I did, she went to see it and she wrote me a note, or she sent me flowers and she says, "I'm proud of you, Arnold. You're doing a great job. Keep going," and all this and that. Spectacular woman.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, sideline businesses. Leonard Nimoy once owned a pet store. How did you get involved with a bricklaying business?
Well, it's very simple that my friend Franco Colombo came over from Europe, and we wanted to. He was a bricklayer, and we wanted to make some money because in bodybuilding there was no money when we came over here. So we thought we don't want to live off people just you know and look for the handout. We want to take you know matters in our own hands and to create a business and create money because America was the land of opportunities. There were no obstacles there. Anyone could start a business. We, as a matter of fact, were shocked when we walked into the city hall and we got a business license right away and went off and did bricklaying jobs and made great money and saved money and invested it then in other projects and so on. So he was a bricklaying expert. I was doing what is the mixing of the cement and the rolling around with the wheelbarrow and pouring the cement and the concrete, delivering the bricks. Like I was like the cheap labor.
You know, I love the airplane sequence. It outdid the aerial sequence in one of the past James Bond films. When you're shooting that on various places, does it ever go through your mind, what have I gotten myself into?
Well, I think differently, because to me the only thing that is in my mind when I do those scenes, and even before I get into the scenes, is how can I outdo myself? How can I outdo my movies that I've done in the past? James Cameron raised the level so high, you know, and the quality of the movies, of Terminator and of True Lies and those things, that it's very difficult to outdo that. And forget about the James Bond and all the other movies to outdo this. If you outdo this, then you have a major hit. So that's all I think about is how can I make the stunts bigger and better? How can I make the action sequence more exciting, more spicy, more hot? So when the people are sitting there in the theater, they walk out afterwards and they say, "This was great entertainment. Where can I buy another ticket? I want to go back in and see this movie again." That's the idea behind the whole thing. So I'm always kind of competing against myself. So that's what goes through my mind when I do those scenes.